Pierre Poilievre, and some of the other parties, frankly, the Liberal Party is flirting with this as well, but he wants to expand oil production at the very time that it appears the global oil system, global oil demand is going to peak. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's as if, for Poilievre, what happens outside of Canada is totally irrelevant. But here's the problem, folks. That's where our customers.
So that is Canadian energy journalist Markham Hislop, I believe is how you say his last name. And in a nutshell, he has an issue with Canada expanding their oil and gas industry as we near peak oil demand. Now, there are a lot of opinions on peak oil demand. Some say 2028, some say 2030, some say 2032. So it's coming for sure. But here's the problem in trying to tie that with whether someone should expand their oil production or not. And that is what most everyone agrees is what will happen after peak oil demand. And that is a very slow and methodical drop in oil demand. As a matter of fact, by 2050, if let's say we do hit peak oil demand in 2028 or 2030, by 2050, we're probably only back to like 2017 or 2018 oil demand levels. So that means 20 years post-peak oil demand, we're still using, 95, 6, 7% of the oil we're using now. So demand for a product dropping by, say, 5% over a 20-year period is not a reason to stop selling that product. Let's also consider who Canada sells the vast majority of their oil to, the United States of America. And let's also consider that peak oil demand and oil use in the United States of America is not going to decline as fast as it does in the rest of the world. The EIA is projecting oil demand and natural gas demand in the United States to be higher in 2050 than it is today. And who is Canada going to sell most of that oil to? The United States. And what country is not equipped to produce a ton of oil in a post-peak oil demand world? What country is probably the least suited to produce a large amount of oil in that time frame? The United States. And what country is best suited to operate in a post-peak oil demand world? Canada. Yeah, Canada. So if the United States is smart, and I realize that's a stretch, we will realize that we will depend more and become more reliant on Canadian oil as the years go by, because the shale industry in the United States is not equipped to deal with what's coming. Our large oil producing basins are beginning to enter their terminal decline stages. Our costs are rising exponentially, and we are going to lose more and more and more oil production in the United States as time goes by. So I believe Markham here is missing some key points. While he's true that it would not be super wise for the United States to greatly expand its oil and gas industry in the coming years, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Canada doing it, because Canada is much better situated than the United States. And falling production in the United States is only going to fuel more production and revenue flowing into Canada if they capitalize and expand on their oil and gas production and infrastructure. Thanks.